What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Breeze. We're back out here again in the Brooklyn Podcasting Studio for another episode of the What's Cooking podcast. So today, as you guys can see, Mike's not with me. He's actually had a little emergency, so it was kind of last minute, but he had to run out. So it's just going to be me today. I have a special guest with me today. It's somebody known for a long time. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's going on? Thank you, Fab. Appreciate it, man. My name's Isaiah Angel Cologne, from the Bronx, New York. And I'm representing my brand, Surprise New York City.
All right, that's good. So basically a little backstory to how me and Isaiah know each other. So it's actually funny. So me and Isaiah went to high school and college together. At high school, I actually didn't know him because I was older. And I kind of, like, it's weird because it's like I seen him sometimes and it's like he always knew who I was, but it's like, not to say I was Hollywood or anything, but I didn't know like the younger guys like that, unless like I personally knew you outside of school. So
Fab was the cooler, older kid.
you can say that. You can say that. But basically, yeah, in college, that's kind of where me and him really got close. And he was really like always been like, a younger brother to me. Always had my back and vice versa. And, I've always been supporting his brand for the longest. So, I'm happy to have him up here. And there's definitely nobody else I'd probably want to put here today as our first official guest. So now that you're tuned in, let's get started. So Isaiah, first question I have for you is basically, how did you get started with your clothing line?
Thanks, bro. So how I first got started was I was in high school. My senior year of high school, we had to pick a focus for AP Art. And while everybody else was picking like architecture, fine design, or something like that, like I kind of fell in love with the idea of like painting on t-shirts. I just thought like if you could put all the time painting onto like a canvas, and put it on a wall, why can't I throw that on a shirt, and like have it be like unique that way, like the way the brush strokes come out and stuff like that. So I got, really into customizing t-shirts. I would go to skate parks and like I would be wearing Supreme and like my BBC pants or whatever, and people would be like, "Oh, like where'd you get that shirt?" And I'd be like, "I got one in my book bag. I just made it in class." So it picked off like that, and I really like started like consuming less and like customizing for myself more. And like I really liked when people saw what I was wearing and what I was matching my own pieces with other pieces, and they always like attracted to my pieces. So it kind of just inspired me to continue pushing a brand. And that's how it started.
Yeah, that's crazy because now that you say that, I actually do remember how I remember Isaiah because I used to always see him he was in the art homeroom, right?
Yeah.
There we go. Because my homeroom was like across from his. So it's like, we did go to a school that was like, predominantly white. So it's like all the minorities kind of knew each other. Like,
Yeah.
Or even if you didn't know the person, it's like you knew them by face just because, we're like all kind of clicked up together.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's good. So being that you started in high school, how was it being a designer, like, during that time? Like, in other words, describe how the experience was being a student with a fashion line.
It was a lot of fun. I think it definitely took me where I needed to go, because I started to take the brand really seriously. And, I built a website and business cards and stuff like that. And I really started pushing it like a brand, selling it, doing the packaging and stuff like that. So it kind of geared me towards my path that I'm on now. And doing it as a student really showed me that I could prioritize what I'm still doing now, having a full-time job and doing this brand.
Okay. So with that said, tell us about how did you start off with these hats? Because everybody seems to know that this is your bestseller right now. It's what's trending right now, as you can see. I had this one for a while.
Yeah, that one's sold out now, bro.
Yeah,
I don't have any more.
I was posting this on Instagram like every day. Everybody go get a hat. And we sold out with these hats, so.
Thanks. So how I started off with the hats was basically like, COVID was rough, I think, for like all small businesses. Like every business like that was maybe starting in 2019 or 2020 like kind of had a rough go at it now, being it's 2022, So during COVID, I spent a lot of time doing art. I went to Philly Graffiti Pier. I was doing pieces, and I tried to build the brand up a little bit by designing unique pieces. So I designed like a whole collection, shirts, hoodies, and they did well. That's like one of my pieces from my last collection.
Yeah, I remember
Shout
when I
out
bought
Fab.
this, he was like, "This is a good combo right here." He's like, "I'm gonna try this." I was like, "You should." Yeah, I just got an eye for it,
Yeah, so some things worked, but there were still a lot of things that I wasn't doing with this release and how it was different. So after that, in the beginning of the year, earlier this year, in like January, I decided, yo, like I'm gonna do hats. So like early December, I like was working on designs, reaching out to factories, and like I really want to do a hat. At the time, I had like a Yankee fitted, and I really like hat collectors. My cousin's like has a huge hat collection. He has all these fire hats, and he's like real into like the community and stuff. So I started seeing his hat collection. I was like, damn, I gotta get some more fitteds. Like I'm walking around with him and he's got a new one every day. So I gotta get some more fitteds. But again, that idea of like consuming less and like just creating more for myself. So I tried like every single route you could think of. Probably anybody trying to do their own hats, you know, oh, do I go in the store, get a New Era? Do I try to get New Era's license? You know, like it was a lot of different things. And I was just like, you know what? I want the garment to be made completely, or whatever it is that I make, completely like on my own, like by myself. So no help. I contacted some factories, worked out a couple samples, did the design and everything. I spoke to some people at my job, like where I work. I work at a fashion company, so they were really like helping me out with like what type of embroidery I should use, what type of techniques I should use to make the words pop. And I ended up getting a really good sample. One was messed up. I got a second sample, was a lot better. And I did a pre-order for the first drop of this colorway right here, the navy one. Let's see, right here, I'll talk about the design, but we did the pre-order and I sold like 30%. And then when they dropped, like they sold out in like 2 weeks. So it did really, really well. And like I had never hit with like any one of my pieces before so well. And it was just one hat I made. So we restocked it and we kept running with it. But I'll talk about the design too if you want. So the SNYC is an acronym for Surprise New York City. I wanted to combine, the hat I was always wearing with like my design, you know? So I'm also from the Bronx. So, you got BX in the back too, you know? That's Yankee Stadium's in the Bronx as well. On the other side, I got my Running Man logo. This is the logo me and my cousin used to just, ride around and doodle and tag up. Oh, sorry. We would tag up and stuff like that. We created this design together. And I decided to run with it because, it really resonates with me. We're always chasing something, always chasing the bag, the money, your dreams, your goals. Sometimes you may be running from something. So for me, it helps me tell a story with all my hats. Everyone's different. So whatever the mood is, whatever I'm chasing that day or this hat, that's what I'm throwing on. And then on the other side, we got the 98. That's the year I was born. Shout out the 90s babies. And I just wanted people to know that. I think a lot of brands, they have EST, and for me, it's icon, date, and a name, right? To really build a brand. So that's how it came together to make this hat. On the inside, I got logo tape seaming, 3D puff on the front. It's a fantastic hat. It's great. It's a snapback. They're all snapbacks. So this one did really well. And should I go down the line?
Oh, if you want to.
Yeah,
sure,
all right, cool. So then the second one we decided to release in February after this one did really well. I went and did this one. This is a Valentine's Day drop. So this Running Man's got hard eyes. Yeah. Still has a 98 on the other side as well. Icy gray brim.
Ooh,
and
all the gray brims.
Yeah, same accents on the inside. This one did really well. This one sold out. I only keep this sample just for like trade shows and stuff like that I do to really show people. Then the third one we did was for 420. This one dropped in April. I wanted to make kind of like a hat that resembled like Hugh Hefner's kind of smoker's jackets. I wanted to have like a luxe suede feel. Yeah, that's all suede at the top. Okay. Yeah, all suede around. It's got the purple and green kind of colorway to match. The inspiration for this was the skunk dunks. So I wanted, something to really match that. I got my Running Man smoking a joint, green and orange for like, the weed I always be grinding up. It's just always green and orange. Sometimes it's purple. His eyes a little smacked. BX on the back, 420 on the side.
Got that fire.
This one's actually sold out on my website. Just sold out yesterday, and they're only available at some of the locations that I'm at. So I'll talk about that a little later too. But you can get those at those locations. And the last one, thank you, bro, appreciate it. The last one is now I started doing customs. They're closed for right now because I have an influx of orders. But this is a custom I did for Jay Cohen. This is his logo right here. And shout out to him, man. He wanted a Mets colorway one, so we did that for him. Green and blue on the inside. And, I switched up the Yankees for the Mets logo for him. He's from Queensbridge, so we did Queensbridge on the back. And then I started really messing around with the customs. People really like them. So I got a couple people I'm working for now, and I'm going to have these available back on my website too. So, I wanted people to be able to have custom one-of-one stuff like I have, and be able to show out. There's a lot of people in the hat game that really have some crazy pieces. The pins too are really crazy. I got some crazy pins. Oh, and this is the last one. Sorry, this is the most recent one right here. So this hat, I got to touch base with SSG Lil Splurge. Shout out him. Shout out Dizzy. Shout out TJ, the whole team. TJ on the beat. And we came together and we made this hat. So this is a collab between us. Right here we have Goop with the 98. That's one of his sayings or slogans. Mm-hmm. And we did Running Man with his logo. Sometimes he has this wolf logo, it's kind of his embodiment, a little bit. So we came together, we put his name on the bottom. He picked out the colorways, I picked out the material. So it's suede on the bottom, suede on the top.
Yeah, that's dope.
Really, really nice piece. And this one's available for pre-order right now. I'm going to be selling it in the stores too. So we're doing 100 pieces. So definitely get this one. This one's sickest one out.
Yeah,
got my weed pin on it and everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a custom one. It says 96. I'm turning 26 next month, so
hey,
yeah, I'm gonna definitely need a custom.
I got you, bro, for sure.
Yeah, so going on the subject of having like celebrities and whatnot, you actually had a lot of celebrities along the way. So I've seen ASAP Ferg as the first person to wear your stuff, and he was wearing like a T-shirt. It was even like the hats weren't even made. That was way back.
Yeah,
so that shows how long we went, but. ASAP Ferg, I've seen. I know you're linking up with Bobby Nice. I mean, Bobby Nice, right? Yeah,
Bobby Nice,
Bobby
yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
I see Squid Nice. Squid Nice wears a lot of your stuff.
Squid Nice, yeah.
A lot.
Cool people, man. Really cool people.
And I've seen a lot of other people you probably want to speak about. So
yeah.
How did all of those connections go? If you want to speak about them individually or
sure,
any of them specifically.
A couple, that was actually a couple years ago. I tapped in with Deli Ferg. That's ASAP Ferg's brother. And I was like, hey, I really like your music, just like the style, like everything you got going on. Can I link you? And he just answered. Like, I feel like most of the times, like, if you just stay consistent with on somebody's page or they see you and eventually they'll answer, So I just got really lucky and he wore my bag. We took a flick and stuff. But then from then on, I started tapping in with other people. Tapped in with Bobby Nice early on. And I went to a couple of his shows, brought him some custom jeans and stuff like that, some fits. Cool dude, man. He beat me in 2K one time at my crib. Really cool dude. And he's actually back out now. I'm gonna go link with him after this actually to go drop him off some stuff. He's around, so I haven't seen him in a while, so I'm excited to see him.
Did you leave him over there or?
Say again?
You brought it with you,
he
has a stack of hats with him right now.
I'm always walking around now. Yeah, bro, because funny story, bro. I bumped into Trippie Redd in the city, right? And it was so crazy, so sudden or whatever. But I showed him my hat and he really liked it. I got a flick with him and he was like, yo, yeah, bro, I'm gonna tap in with you. I was like, yo, this is for Splurge. And he was like, yo, that's dope. Yeah, get his number. So hopefully I can tap in with him, get him some stuff. But ever since then, I'm like, yo, I gotta have hats on me all the time, bro. Cause I could have just gave him some right then. But some other artists I worked with again is SSG Lil Splurge, man. He's dope. I've been a big fan of his music and I sent him some hats. He really liked them, and then came to New York. We tapped in, and it's been great, man. Great business partner, and just overall cool dude, man. Making fire music, great vision.
Yeah, because like I was saying when we were walking, you never know. Somebody might just stop you and want to buy one off you right there. So
yeah,
it's good to have your inventory on you.
Facts, OD.
Yeah.
And then I was at an event at Drip City Market. Shout out them. Shout out God Soul. All the sneaker events I've been doing lately. But I was at Drip City Market and Spider Cuz was hosting.
I was just about to ask about that.
Yeah, he came up to the table, man. He's so dope, bro. He's mad cool, just full of energy, man. Just really putting on for everybody, for real. He's pro for the community. Everywhere he goes, he's touches and turns to gold, So yeah. He actually came by my table and he was looking at my hats or whatever. So I was like, oh, yo, I gotta give you one. So bam, gave him one and he wore it the whole time, bro.
He wears it every day.
Yeah.
I see him all over Instagram every day. It doesn't matter where he's at. He has that surprise on.
OD. Yeah, so I'm actually working on a custom for him, actually.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's gonna be tough. I might have to get that.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll drop it together. I think his fan base would like it too.
Yeah. you never know. It might actually go like far to where like Marvel wants to, do something with you.
Yeah, that could be dope for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So, on the topic of celebrities, is there anybody else that you're like trying to get in contact with or in the works with?
Yeah, I would really like to tap in with more like New York artists, like Ron Suno.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
DX right there.
J.I.
Yo, quick story. Everybody should.
I know.
When J.I. first got on, everybody used to think that was him. Like.
Yeah, because I had the Caesar fade and like I was letting my top grow a little bit, trying to brush in the waves. They were like, "Oh, you look like J.I." It was funny.
I remember I took a picture of him once, or not even a picture. It was just like a video on my story, and people were commenting like, "How do you know J.I.?" I was like, "That's not J.I." But I kind of ran with it. I was like, "Yeah, me and J.I. we just chilling right now." But
maybe if I get to meet him, we'll take a picture together, and he'll be like, "Yo, like you do kind of look like me."
Yeah, you probably want a custom too.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's kind of what I want to do. I just want to like make custom pieces for like artists and really build my like portfolio, and really show people what I can do.
Okay. So you were speaking about events that you went to. Do you have any other events coming up that you're gonna be attending?
Yeah. So in August, so far, I mean, I've done like 6 events this year, some small, some big, but this August, the 27th and 28th, I'm gonna be at Got Soul in Secaucus, largest New York sneaker show. So you guys should come down. There's a bunch of vendors. They do giveaways and stuff like that. It's a really live event, big. So definitely come by if you can. Grab your tickets. And then I will be at SneakerCon this year. That's gonna be my biggest event this year. I'm super excited. They got back to me. I emailed them, and I'm just really, really happy to be there. It's a 2-day event. That's the 20th and the 21st, I believe. So yeah, don't quote me on that. It'll be on my Instagram too, so I'm gonna post about it as well. But super excited for that. That's in Washington D.C. So if you're in that area and you want to meet me or stop by the table, I'm gonna have all the hats available and some more custom pieces as well to display for you guys. I'm gonna have artworks as well, so it's gonna be dope. Really excited. Shout out SneakerCon, yo, for real.
Yeah, so I liked how in the beginning you were speaking about your drive, like what motivated you to start your own clothing. And it mainly focused on the idea of just, being yourself, being creative. And actually one thing that I really liked was when you said it helped you like in terms of spending less, because you're making your own stuff. You're not out there buying like, $300 shirts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's funny because in the first episode, me and Mike, we had probably say like a little 5-minute conversation on that, and a lot of the reception that I got was around that topic right there. So I feel like going back to what I said in the first episode, I said something along the lines of, when it comes to clothing brands, I like to rock clothing brands where I feel like people are really passionate about their designs and how they go about creating it. They're not just taking an image and just like stamping it. Like they actually like the material they use. They actually like the images they use. There's meaning and symbolism behind what they created. So I would say my question to you would just be basically, how do you go about your designs in terms of, I guess, your thought process?
Yeah.
So, like you could even start from the beginning, like even just from like the clothing, like the original design and everything.
So I guess like I had the name, like I had the name Surprise, and the colors kind of was always like pink. Pink's my favorite color, so you're gonna see like
I see that.
Yeah, pink's like one of my favorite colors. So it's a pretty powerful color. Red has enough color to take away the attention and everything in this room, and people right now are only paying attention to these 2 hats. But if we took those red hats out of the way, people would now draw more attention to your pink.
Really?
It has the same effect because pink is, red isn't pink. So it's just diluted with white. So it gives it a more affectionate feeling versus like red is like, blood intense. It's nature, right? That color comes straight from nature.
Is that why you got pink tints on those glasses?
Yeah, people see it and they're immediately like defenses go down when you wear the color pink. It's a very powerful color. So, and then the name kind of came from, I was doing YouTube and I was playing video games. People would tell me, I would get grounded a lot. And I was going to Xavier, so my mom would ground me a lot, take away my video games. So when I would come online, people would be like, "Oh, Surprise is on." They didn't even care what my gamer tag was. They would just be like, "Oh, Surprise is on." So one day, changed my gamer tag to Surprise, and I ran with the name. And I just wanted to show people that, through my design that I'm a graffiti artist. I think a lot of people could tell with the the angel halo. I mean, my name is Angel, so that's why I have it too. But there's a lot of graffiti artists that came from where I came from and do similar accents. A lot of people I look up to, like Comp, Cope, Scene. They're right around TD, right around right where I'm skateboarding and taking the train. So I really wanted to just show people where I'm from, and through my design, kind of make people appreciate where I'm from.
So would you say like those are like the wings, the quotation marks?
They're actually just quotation marks, but I guess they could be wings because it's an angel. Yeah,
it looks like it. It looks like it, especially like the way it's like kind of centered in with the halo. It's like it lines up pretty well.
Yeah. I really like the design that I came up with for the hat because I feel like people who don't know the brand, don't recognize the brand, or don't know it's an acronym, they still have an attraction to it. And that's never really happened with any of my other products or anything else that I've made, which is why like I only make hats now. Like I've been able to put a 100% of my time, effort, and energy into production of just 3 or 4 hats and like the customs. But before, like, that hoodie is not a hoodie that I cut and sewed. It's a hoodie that, was made here in the States, printed at a factory. A lot of people can, the design is what I put the most effort into it. But I would love to cut my own fabrics and stuff like that. And it's good quality. It's not bad. But
I told you that from the jump. It's like, it's very comfy. It's very warm.
It is. But I know from the jump, like, for instance, like this t-shirt that I'm wearing right here, this is, more recently I got a license for Rue Porter as a wholesaler. So this garment's from Rue Porter. So their garments are cut like a luxury cut. They're oversized a little bit, but the quality of the fabric is unique in its weight. And it's French terry cotton that weighs 250 GSM, which is like if you cut a square meter of this fabric and weighed it, it would be 250 versus if you went into a Macy's right now and grabbed a polo shirt, it would be like 200, maybe 210, 220 most. So this is a really heavy weighted fabric. It's gonna wash really well. So I'm product testing as I'm wearing these blanks now. But eventually, once I have some more time with the hats and stuff, this will be the new garments for my t-shirts, and then my hoodies will come from the same fabrics as well. So this is a product testing basically, but trying to really pay attention to the products that I'm putting out in terms of, like you said, sustainability, right? Being environmentally conscious of, the fabrics, the cuts, the dyes that they use, so yeah.
Yeah, because that's actually something I was thinking about asking. So I was gonna ask, are you fully focused with the hats, or are you still gonna do like other pieces?
No, yeah. So, and I feel like doing the sneaker events, a lot of people come to the table and their first impression of the brand is they see these 3 hats
and they think it's just hats.
They think it's just hats, and they think maybe I'm just only gonna make hats. But eventually, I'm going to put more energy and effort into building a collection. It was just for me, like, a year ago, I tried that. I built a whole collection for people, and sometimes it's hard. Like, every brand you walk into has all of the same things in their own vision, right? So if you walk into Balenciaga, you walk into this store, that store, they're all gonna have t-shirts, hoodies, shirts, right, pants, but you gotta find one thing that pops off, right? So like for me, Prada, like I would never go get like a Prada shirt or like a Prada bag, but them Prada sneakers, I gotta have them. So like for me, when I think of Prada, I think of the Prada sneakers.
Right.
Now, if you think of Don C, when I think of Don C, I always think of like the snapbacks or the sick jerseys. I don't really think of like a Don C.
Don C is the hat itself. The brand is just Don.
Right.
Yeah.
So just Don, right? He's like a designer. So I kind of want to be like that, where I make pieces that are unique to the brand. And then I'll do other things that people are like, oh, well, he can make a really high quality hat.
Right.
The shirt's probably going to be just as good, But I think the hat has been my calling, and I really want to focus on really making cool hats. I eventually want to do fitteds and, really get into the fitted community. There's a lot of people who don't wear snapbacks and are very adamant, but tell me, yo, that's fire. I just won't wear it.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I'm more of a dad hat type of guy.
Yeah, and some
even
people
to this day,
are like
I know
that
a lot
too.
of people doing the bucket hats again. People are doing the fitteds again. So
bucket hats are fire.
Everybody has their preference.
Yeah, I feel like I always look like I gotta go fishing, so it depends on my fit. Like if I throw on a bucket hat, some people can rock it with anything though and look good. So, yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't know this, but actually, you used to do fashion shows back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to speak more on that? I remember those. I remember I hosted one of those too.
Yeah.
In our school.
So when I was at the University of Scranton, they had organization there. I forget. Do you remember the name of the organization?
UCO,
Yeah,
United Cultures
UCO.
Organization.
And it's basically just like where all the minorities got to meet and like do lit shit, like, you know. So
No, I mean, it was more than just that. Like, you know, it was like cultures of all kinds, like not just racial, but
yeah. But I was having fun. So they had a fashion show, and they had some brands in the local area, and then they had me as well. So I did it actually 3 years in a row, and I only went to Scranton for a year and a half. So they still had me for the times where, you know, I wasn't there. So it was nice. It was a lot of fun. Fashion shows are dope because I got to make pieces like custom and like really see them on the runway, get nice pictures and stuff. I haven't done any recently, but I would definitely want to do some in the future. I think I would want to do like something like more like virtual, where like people could tune in and really like make it more of like, maybe I could do something with the artists that I'm working with,
right.
have them maybe in a studio, because that's where I feel like my taste is. I really like being in the studio, seeing the artists that I'm making pieces for work, you know, being with Splurge and seeing him make a song in front of me and just chilling with them, getting to know them. That was just so dope and inspired me to just make this piece right here, which would never have happened, you know? So that's where I feel more comfortable, in the creative zone.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think. Wow, kind of lost me for a second.
Sorry.
No, not you. I'm just saying, like, I kind of lost my train of thought for a second. So it was in reference to, oh, there we go. So going off of the fashion show, so I always meant to ask you, I think his name, it was DeMarco, right? I don't remember his name off the top. I think it was DeMarco. The guy, EP Fashion.
Oh, I don't remember his name, but I do remember
what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Did they ever think about like collabing with you? I thought that would have been a pretty good investment to make on both sides.
Yeah, we never really talked about it, but that would have been something cool. I don't think we ever like sealed the deal on that, but I think back then, like, I didn't have the potential I think I have now. If I were to do a collab with somebody, I think I have way more experience and like knowledge in the fashion industry in terms of like resources and stuff like that, where I could really make nice pieces now and do a collab with a store like that. I think that would be dope.
Yeah, because no disrespect to Scram, but like a lot of people out there couldn't dress. So it's like when EP Fashion came out, like actually gave people like an urban look. And it actually reminded me of home, because it's like being over there, it was just so like suburban, and it's just like a lot of people weren't really into style and fashion. It's like being from New York City, you know how we get when it comes to fashion. Like we don't think we know that we're the best dressed people in the whole country. So it's like, like when EP Fashion came out, it kind of like gave me somewhat of a home feeling, where I felt like I was back in New York, because I used to walk in there and see threads that I'd see in New York. So, and then your brand, of course, also added to that. So I always thought like it would have always been a smart thing, probably collab, especially because a lot of people in the town really liked what you had. So I've seen people like, you know, buy your stuff. I mean, all of our friends, like not even off the strength of us being friends, but they genuinely liked what you had.
Yeah.
So with that said, it was just like, I felt like there were a lot of people in that town that really rocked with what you had. To where if you bought it to like a broader audience, not just like into school, but outside of the town and whatnot, or maybe, who knows, maybe like Wilkes-Barre and other towns like that, probably would have went crazy with it. Yeah, because he was doing pretty good in terms of like his audience of like the whole city, but that surprise in there could be better. Just saying.
I think I would be, you know, more than willing to go to his store if it's still there. And
I mean, I don't know what that town, because that mall was closing too.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
that's the thing about like malls. Like malls is really tough. Like I haven't been able to get into stores in malls. But I've gotten into some stores. So right now I'm in a store in Harlem. I'm in 2 stores in Harlem.
Two or three? I thought it was 3.
No, I'm in 2.
Okay.
I'm in Cap USA on 18 West 125th. And I'm in DNA on East 119th Street, 119th there. But yeah, check them out on Instagram. They have purple and navy hats.
Yeah, I was just about to ask. So which ones?
And I'm in a store in Philadelphia as well called Rich and Famous, and I'm in 2 stores in the Bronx. One called AMAF Fashion on Westchester Square, and I'm in another store called The Fifth Element on Castle Hill Avenue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So talk about how did those, I guess you could say, deals worked out. Like how those all come about?
At first, I had no intentions of like selling to accounts. I've been selling all online at this point from January in the beginning of the year to now. I've been selling all online, and I've sold like just for like the big states, like more than 100 hats in like Miami, more than 100 in like New York, like 50 in Cali, a bunch in Texas. So I have like a wide range of audience of people who like want a piece of New York. Like, you know, like you were saying, like New York's very representational, you know, across like the states and even the world.
Yeah, you know when somebody's from New York when you see the like. I know people joke about the Timbs, the fitteds, but it's the style, the swag. Like it's more than just the Timbs and fitteds. Like you know when somebody's from New York.
Yeah, OD. So at first I really had no intention of being in any stores, but there was this one store. The first one was DNA store. They actually reached out to me on Instagram. I guess they seen one of my ads. I started doing ads, and they were like, "Hey, like, could we have these in the store?" So I went there, touched base with them, and now you know I've been selling to them consistently. And their store is dope. They're a store in Harlem that kind of has like a Soho-ish feel, where they have really hype beast brands there, and you know some local brands as well, which is why it's a nice mix. It's got sneakers and everything there. It's dope. They do events and stuff. The block is always a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's actually a good idea because I was just talking to my friend, and he does like sneaker reselling, and he actually is starting up his clothing brand too. And he was showing me a page that he likes. I guess you could say it's their formula. So what they do is they also resell sneakers, designer stuff like that, but they sell it as like outfits.
Oh, okay.
So it's like they could be selling like a hoodie, jeans, and some sneakers separate. I mean, you could buy it all together if you want, but they kind of make it into that outfit. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. So they style it for you.
Yeah, they style it for you. So it's like you could buy separate, you could buy it all together. What he was saying that he was gonna do is like, it's one thing if you know I'm reselling kicks, but it's like I resell kicks with my own brand of what I have. So like, could be like a tracksuit, and then he has like Jordans or something that goes with the tracksuit. So like, with the store that you just mentioned, I actually like how you said like they have a mix of not only just like designer brands, but also local brands, because you know I might see an off-white T-shirt that goes with one of these fitteds. I mean, snapbacks.
Yeah.
You know, so now it kind of gives the gives the consumer an option to, you know, go with something that they could be the trendsetter for, and also gives the designer more outreach.
Yeah.
So I thought that's a pretty dope idea. In terms of like your Instagram, would you think of like doing something like that where it's just like your hats mixed with like your T-shirts, hoodies, stuff like that? Or do you just want to go everything kind of separate?
I think eventually as I do the hats, like I'm not just gonna stop doing hats to then do shirts. Like the shirts will be an addition, and then I'll maintain both businesses. And then if I do jeans, then I'll maintain all three of those businesses. And I would want to piece outfits together.
Right.
But I think what I more like doing is, just because I've been focused on the hats and the stores that I'm at, like the DNA store, they post on their page and they build outfits together. So I like that they do that, and I like being the piece of the outfit, whereas you know I don't need somebody to wear everything of mine. And a lot of the times, like, you don't wear like everything of one brand, you know. You piece things together, you know, you mix Louis with the Gucci and you know stuff like that. But I kind of just want to maybe focus on just doing the hats, and really competing with the hats that are out there on the market now, you know, because like in Caps USA, I'm on the wall with new era hats that have been out and that are fire, you know. So these hat collectors that come in, they've maybe never seen my brand before. So that's who I'm trying to market to, essentially. And you know, it's working for the most part. A lot of people really respect the brand. They like the fabrics, and the 421 is really nice. This one's suede as well. This one I feel like is gonna do really well. But yeah, I'm really happy that people resonate with the brand and fuck with it.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I think it would be pretty eye-catching if, especially you have the Yankees, you have the Mets designs, if you have like your hats in between those, because people might just be looking, and then like, wait, this one looks different. You know, and now they pick it up.
Yeah.
And they want to see, like, you know, they want to look around, like see the sides, the brim, everything like that. See the material too, the suede ones.
Yeah.
So I think it's a pretty smart, it's very tactical strategy in terms of just like getting your items to like stand out compared to others, like other popular common ones?
Yeah. Yeah, it took about 3 months to really like dial in on this design and like the factories, having a backup factory, having other factories that do different techniques that one can't do, really like building those connections. And then like just like earlier in that year, like it's the business side of it, really like legalizing everything, getting the paperwork, for all the business, like knowing how to run a business, knowing how to like what's an expense, knowing that like now that I have revenue coming in, knowing what I can expense,
Right.
it's been a lot. So I'm really grounded with everything, and these hats are kind of just pushing that business, all the better.
Have you ever had any like international sales so far?
Yeah, so I've been in Mexico. I've had sales in Mexico, sales in DR. I have a lot of supporters actually from the Dominican Republic that like be on my page, and I be kind of like shy because I don't really speak like Spanish very well.
He speaks Spanglish.
Yeah,
He's from the
so
Bronx. He speaks
they be
Spanglish.
trying to talk to me, and I'm all for it, bro. I love the conversation, but I just be struggling because I be having to have like my girl translate and shit. So but in Puerto Rico too, I have a lot of supporters in Puerto Rico, a lot of people out there. So it's dope because I be visiting those countries, and now I got people that like I could connect with.
I was gonna say too, like probably family too. Like, do they kind of push your brand out there?
Yeah, my mom is a big supporter. Shout out my mom. She's the best. She's a huge supporter. She's always putting me on, always wearing my stuff, always like telling people, oh, like, like she just asked me for a hat for my brother's barber. She's like, I'm gonna give it to him. He's like a popular guy, and like everybody's gonna see him wearing it. So I was like, all right, cool,
That's
but
good.
she believes in me, man. She's believed in me for a very long time. My family's really supportive. My brother buys hats for me here and there too, so yeah, family's always supported me 100%.
Yeah, barbering industry is pretty dope because when they have like celebrities, it's like everybody's eyes are on them. Like everybody wants to get a haircut by this barber just because they have celebrity clientele. So when you have like barbers that are lit like that, they, even if people see them with the hat, especially hat hair kind of mixes in.
Yeah.
People probably think it's gonna be stylish to walk out a barber shop with a surprise hat on. So
Yeah.
fresh cut, fresh fade, whatever. Taper with the hat to go with it. So that's
I
pretty
used
dope.
to I used to pitch. I did it a couple times, but then I kind of stopped because it's a tough crowd sometimes. But I went into a couple barbershops with like some hats, and I was like, "Hey guys, I got these hats, whatever. Just check them out." But roughly like in and out real quick. I didn't really get any pulls, but there's a lot of people in barbershops who like have hats, fire hats, and that's what they wear to work. So I was trying to get in there, but sometimes it's tough. You don't know the barbershop, you don't know the people, the time they on, and stuff like that. Even at the event, sometimes it's real tough. Like people like may really like the brand, or they may really like the hat from a distance, and they walk past, and they may just not want to like connect with you. They may not want to like come up to the table, introduce themselves, or like.
I mean, that's kind of where you kind of got to reel them in.
Yeah,
Gotta smooth
and I
talk
do.
'em.
Yeah, I do. I try. I
Gotta
really do
smooth talk 'em.
try. But sometimes like you could reel somebody in, and they're just like still like at a distance. They don't want to come up. But I still do appreciate that they acknowledge the brand a little bit by stopping by and looking at it. Some people are shy though.
Yeah. So I mean, with your brand, it's very unique, and that's probably why I support it a lot. Like, cause I didn't even know you like that, and I was more surprised. You see what I'm saying? So, and I remember even too the other day, I wanted the bag, and it's funny because I was never a part of that style, like the whole the traveler bag, fanny pack, whatever you want to call it. I was never a part of that like phase when it happened. But I thought about it, I was like, it's convenient. Like I'm not wearing it for the style. I'm wearing it more because it's convenient. Cause I don't like having a bunch of stuff in my pocket.
Yeah.
So everybody's like getting these Supreme bags. Everybody's like, no, go get a Louis bag. Go get it like this. I'm like, nah. I hit you up. I was like, so do you think you could put that back online for me? Because you were sold out. You were done with it. Like this is like a whole year later. I was like, you think you could just do one more? Just one. And you still did for me. So, I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, of course,
thank you.
bro. Any piece
And
you
I wear
want
it all
from
the
my
time.
archive, I'll
Yeah.
always make it for you.
Yeah, people always see me with it on Instagram now. It's like almost every picture I have now, I'm wearing it. So, yeah, it's first of all, it's a dope design.
Thank you, bro.
And that was actually, it's different from this one.
Yeah, a lot
That's the
different.
crazy part. This is probably like, I think it's your second design, right?
Yeah, this is like my finalized design. It's my second one, basically.
Yeah, like the original one is like this.
Yeah.
Without the what'd you say it was called again?
It was the Running Man.
Running Man.
Yeah.
Right? It was more like a graffiti type of thing. Well, this has pain, but yours
It was
like
SNYC.
Yeah, because you have the navy one that
Yeah.
has this design. Yeah, this one is actually. Oh, yeah, it's actually tough.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
I really like that paint design.
Yeah,
I want to
'cause
bring
at
it
first
back
I saw
out.
it, yeah, because at first I was like, pain goes pretty well with my image because I like to be the nonchalant guy. But yeah,
Yeah.
I always thought it was just like SNYC because of the Running Man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But originally I bought it because of the paint design. But yeah, even if you want to speak on like the hoodies, because I know you're doing like a graffiti line now with that.
Yeah, so I originally like I had like a bunch of designs for hoodies and stuff like that, but I really wanted to like work on getting better fabrics and like making sure that the designs actually like last as long as they can perfect on the garment. So it was about learning what techniques to use based on the design that you're using and based on the fabric that you're printing. So, like some inks don't sink into certain cottons. It was a lot of like talking to my coworkers and figuring out stuff, bringing shirts that I had from home. And I was like, hey, like what printing technique is this? And there's people at my job who can like tell me that, like experts. Like this woman who I work with, her name is Tina. She's the best. And she's really, really smart at what she does. So she's able to help me figure out that process. So now I'm going to come out with, by the fall, I'll have hoodies and some t-shirts with really, really high quality fabrics and a print that's going to last. We're going to do rubberized instead of ink based so they don't chip or break. And the designs are going to come out again, more graffiti designs and stuff like that. So people can see that there is a brand behind this, piece.
Right.
Yeah.
I was always wondering, how come you never did sweatsuits or coats? You could do a puffer coat.
I could, yeah.
You never did that, right? Puffer
Nah,
coat?
I did one coat sample.
Yeah,
and I
there we go.
actually
That's
gave
what I
the
was
sample
like,
to
I feel
Bobby
like you
Nice.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know
So
if
one
he
of
still
one.
has it. Yeah, literally one on one.
Dead stock.
But I would love to come out with coats. I think like I work at a fashion company and they make outerwear. So like there's a huge team behind outerwear production for many, many coats. I think for me, just like I said, doing the hats, it took about 3 months to really perfect this hat, and to maintain it is a everyday thing. I'm constantly on calls with my factory. I'm always in touch with them, always getting updates and stuff like that. So to do that for another part of the business, I just have to make sure that I have the time that this can still be done, and the coats, or if I want to do coats, that it can be as perfect as this, right? Like I don't have hats falling apart, you know what I mean? Or I don't have like hats that are messed up or off tilt or anything like that. So like going to coat production, how I know it is, like it goes into 4 or 5 different stages before it's perfected. So I know like if I'm gonna make a coat, it's not gonna be 1, 2, 3. It's gonna be another 3 month to 5 month process to really, really perfect it and make that perfect coat. And that's what I'm gonna work on. So as soon as I can get that down packed, I will for sure.
Well, it's gonna be beanie season by then, so it's like, at least it kind of gives you a break from the snapbacks. Everybody's gonna probably want like the beanies and stuff.
Yeah, I definitely want to do beanies too. I want to do reversible beanies with the same kind of logo concept schemes that I'm doing for the hats. I definitely want to try to do beanies as well. Maybe some shiesties too. Shiesties are in.
I mean, who knows? It's probably who knows? It might be out by the style of them, but
people still wearing them 90 degrees outside.
Yeah, I was just like, people are crazy with the Nike tech. Oh my gosh, man! Like, New York, man.
OD. It's a different place.
No, definitely. So yeah, what I was gonna say too is like, even how you said it's a 3 to 5 month project, I like the fact that you actually take your time. Like you actually care about the quality. You actually care about everything that goes into your products. You're not just slapping a sticker on something or just sewing in something.
Yeah,
You actually care about the material.
Yeah, I look at brands like Antisocial Social Club, right? Like you look at a brand like that, or
You know what's crazy? Not to cut you off. I was gonna wear like you remember Trey Solomon
from
high
Xavier.
school?
Yeah.
You know how you made the anti shirts, like the 4x4x shirts?
Oh, nah.
I actually thought about wearing that today. Yeah.
But yeah, like a brand like that, they're notoriously famous for like not shipping their goods. Like customers waiting 3 months for garments that were presented to them in a collection like months ago. So like what I think of that is I think that is a person with a fashion vision who has a terrible business platform or business mindset, right? Whereas me, like, I'll go into production for my hats. I'm very open with my customers. If my customer pre-orders this hat, when I drop it, it takes 3 to 4 weeks for me to have it. So my customers are going to get them 3 to 4 weeks, 5 weeks max, let's say. But they're ordering garments that they're saying are ready to make. Not that it's going to take that long to make or ship. So, like, I want to make stuff that's ready to made that I have. I don't want people waiting for my goods. I don't want them to just get first samples. Like, I want to wear, like I said, I'm wearing this t-shirt. I've had this for a couple months now. So I'm still washing it, still wearing it. And once I feel confident that another customer like me can have it, wash it, wear it, smoke in it, like, you know what I'm saying? Make sure it doesn't smell like smoke after you wash it.
Make a new product.
Yeah,
check it off the
exactly.
list.
Now I'm like, all right, like this is 3 months I've been wearing it. I'm comfortable. I think this is a garment we can go with for sure. Versus like just going to the factory and they tell you, oh, okay, we have Gildan, we have Bella Canvas, we have this. This is our most popular style. This is this. Oh, what's the GSM? 180, but who cares? And there's a lot that goes into that t-shirt stuff. Like the scraps, sometimes your t-shirts come like off hem. If they're using fabrics that's frayed, like the way fabric is cut, it's a whole science. So
yeah, so I was probably my final question to you would be like, how do you go about working for a fashion company and also having your own fashion line? Like, do they sometimes even get involved? Like, do they offer you manufacturers and stuff like that?
So how I got my job was I was actually at Xavier, right, at the time, and I was doing my brand, and Mr. Gibbons introduced me. Yeah, fact. Shout out Mr. Gibbons. He introduced me to an alumni. That alumni went to Xavier and just so happened to kind of be like me, always getting detention, always late to school, like kind of just did whatever he wanted, free spirit, like dressed down when it's not a dress down day, like just didn't give a fuck, So we were talking and then he was like, yo, like, what do you do? So I'm like, I do fashion. I gave him my card. He was actually married to this girl, Tina, who's the girl I mentioned before. She was a technical designer for USPA. Right now, she runs...
Oh, so that's how you got the internship.
Yeah.
I remember you used to be an intern there too, right?
So that's how I got the internship, and I've literally been working there ever since. They kept me while I went to Scranton, and when I came back, they gave me a full-time position, and I've been working there ever since. So I've been learning a lot from the people at my job. My boss has bought every single one of my hats. My boss's father has bought every single one of my hats. A lot of people at my job are very, very supportive, and they support the vision. Sometimes I'm at the I work at the front desk at my job, and when I sit there, people come in and their accounts, they're Burlington or TJ Maxx, and people come in and they ask me, hey, where'd you get the hat? Or some people really like it and they buy it off me, and I have hats at the front, and I just made a sale. So it's cool. Sometimes I'm making sales in front of my boss. So they're super supportive. Great resource. There are factories that I work with at my job as communication, and they know that I do the hats, but their MOQs, which is minimum order quantity, is a lot larger. So if I were to do bigger business, I would be in a lot better hands. Whereas I know these people personally. I've met them. They come to the office every day. They're not gonna fuck me over, and they've been doing business for over 20, 30 plus years. So versus me getting a manufacturer on Alibaba or emailing factories online, So it's more intimate with my job. Eventually I could use their factories, but for now I just get advice, a lot of advice from everybody at my job, a lot of people.
Yeah, it's good that you have a good connection with them like that.
Yeah.
Some people just kind of be, well, it's not people, but companies as a whole would just be kind of stush with it, and they just, kind of let you do your own thing, even if they know they could help you get up there, So that's actually amazing that you have a good network like that.
Yeah, they're great, man. I've met a lot of cool people at my job. My boss is a big art collector, so I've met cool artists and stuff, and I get to just work in a very inspiration friendly zone. So every day I'm at work, I'm I see brands get created. I ride the train, I see people wearing Reebok jackets. I go into my office, there's that same coat in my showroom. I know the person who designed it. I know the samples that came in that were fucked up, the other options that they had.
Yeah, that's what I say.
It's so cool, and it's for all these different brands. So every day, I'm going to work, I'm damn, I'm doing the same shit for my own brand too. I don't know, I really love it. I love creating something, and I've bumped into people wearing my hats a few times now. I ride in the trains and stuff. So people send me pictures. Yo, I seen somebody wearing your hat. So it's dope, man. I love it.
I see. Yeah, because I was gonna say you probably see future designs too, or no?
Say again?
Future designs, how you said with the Reebok.
Oh,
jacket.
yeah.
You
They're always designing 2 seasons ahead. So you get to see designs, and it's cool, man. Sometimes they ask me what I think, and, it's dope. A lot of the people at my job, they don't really talk about it because they've been doing it for so many years, but they run these brands, these big brands that like are designed by maybe 1 to 2 people, and like they decide all these decisions, and they don't really get the credit for it, because you don't know that these coats come from this company.
You just know the logo.
You just know the brand and the logo, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, to wrap up, I would probably just want to know, do you have any last minute comments or any advice that you'd like to give any upcoming fashion designers, not just in the city, but around the world?
Yeah. I would say you can do everything yourself. Like, don't feel like you need to use services or reach out to other people. Like, do the research yourself. It'll pay off in the long run, because when you do other stuff or other projects, you're going to have more confidence to go about it and just get the ground running. Don't wait for capital. I feel like a lot of people, like, they tell me they want to start something and then like they don't have the money to do it. Like, bro, like, just
risk-taking.
yeah, like,
just talk about last episode.
You got to figure it out, bro. Like, everything is solvable if you really, really like sacrifice and like put your mind to something, and like just never give up. Stay consistent. Like, every day I post the same hat. I dropped this hat in January and it's sold out 2 times in a row. So I'm gonna keep promoting it like a song, like, or like, like an album. Like, you got to keep just promoting it every single day. Post it. Yeah,
like, I remember the IMO days. Like, they used to tell us, like, as annoying as it was like, you got to post about your business 10 times a day.
Yeah.
And that's true, because you really do. I mean, it could be annoying to like your friends and stuff, but they don't see the bigger picture like you do. So
yeah, they don't. A lot of people who like don't get discouraged if like you're not getting support from like certain people that like you think you need support from, because every day that I'm not getting support from somebody, I'll get a random order from some random person in Florida or in Texas, and I'm like, damn, this person, right, scrolling on Instagram and decided, yo, I'm gonna spend $65 today at this kid in the Bronx, this brand, where half the time they buy and then they DM me and they're like, hey, is this a legit brand? Like, I just like saw this ad. Like, you don't know. Like, I don't necessarily buy a lot of stuff off of Instagram, but majority of my customers do. So they believe in me. So like, those few sheep are enough to keep me like motivated, going forever, bro. Yeah, like, for real.
I mean, even those people,
I have a lot of return customers as well.
Okay, I mean, that's what you want. It's always about the retention. But even with those people, it's probably more so just because of like the whole Yankees thing. But I mean, a lot of people make the designs based off of other. It's kind of like music. A lot of people just sample other music. Yeah. So yeah. So it was definitely a pleasure, Isaiah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me, man.
We've seen each other. Definitely hang out.
Thanks, bro.
Offset.
Yeah. Shout out everybody who's been supporting me. All the artists that I've been working with, Splurge, Bobby Nice. Shout out Weed Chef. Shout out Anna. Shout out everybody, my family. And shout out Fab for having me on episode 2, man. I'm super excited.
Shout out to Josh too.
Yeah, shout out Josh too, man. For real. It's been a pleasure, bro. Super happy for you and proud of you, like, for just getting out here and doing your platform, man. For real.
Likewise, Brody.
You have a wavy clientele of people like that look up to you, and like, I know you're going to put a good platform on for, years to come.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're tuned in to another episode of the What's Cooking podcast, and we're out.
Peace.